Have you ever felt stuck at work because no one is telling you how you're really doing? I'm talking no feedback, no direction, just silence. And for high performers, that silence can start to feel really loud. You start wondering if you're doing well or if you're missing something, or is it that people don't even see you at all? Today, we're going to talk about what to do when feedback doesn't come, but your growth and your development still matter to you. I'm Coach Laney, an attorney and certified executive career and leadership coach, and I help high-performing professionals grow with clarity and confidence, especially in environments where guidance is limited, inconsistent, or worse, non-existent. Because I know that these circumstances are really frustrating when you're not getting feedback. And here's something that I want you to understand. A lack of feedback is not a reflection of your value. It's often a reflection of the system that you're operating in. But if you don't know how to navigate that system, you can start to doubt yourself. So let's talk about how to move strategically when feedback is missing. First of all, don't assume that silence means something is wrong. The first thing that people do when feedback disappears is they start to internalize it. They assume that, hey, I'm not hearing anything, so something's got to be wrong around here. But in many organizations, silence simply means that managers are overwhelmed, overworked, feedback systems are weak, or leaders assume that no news is good news. Now, I know that that mindset does nothing for your development. So instead of internalizing the quiet, I want you to shift into ownership mode. You stop waiting to be assessed and start assessing yourself. First of all, ask for specific, targeted feedback. Most people ask for feedback in a way that makes it hard to give. They say, do you have any feedback for me? I was just wondering if you had anything that I could improve. And the answer is usually vague or unhelpful. Instead, ask questions that force clarity. Hey, what's the one thing I should continue doing? What's one area where I could be more effective? What does strong performance look like over the next 90 days? Do you see the difference in these questions? Now, you're not asking for opinions, you're asking for direction. Next, start to pay attention to these informal signals that happen around your office. Here's something that people often overlook. Not all feedback is spoken. So pay attention to who gets invited to those important meetings. Who is trusted with that high visibility work? Who are the leaders checking in with? Who receives those stretch assignments? These are all signals, and they tell you how much trust the organization has in you and where you stand in the unofficial ranking of influence, even when no one is saying it directly. Next, let's talk about how you can clarify your expectations before you even need feedback. Because sometimes feedback is missing because expectations were never clearly defined in the first place. So ask, what are the top priorities for this role right now? What would exceeding expectations look like? What problems should I be solving that would make the biggest difference? When expectations are clear, you don't need constant feedback to know whether you're on track. So next, let's talk about creating your own feedback loop. Strong professionals don't wait for annual reviews to reflect. They regularly ask questions like, what results am I delivering? Where am I consistently adding value? Where do I need to strengthen my skills? You can compare your work to the role expectations and performance standards so you're not guessing where you stand, okay? I hope that makes sense to you. Let's just go ahead and compare the expectations and the standards so you have a little bit more clarity on what's expected of you. Next, build a personal advisory circle. This is probably one of my better tips. I love this tip. I love all the tips, but this one is good because you're going to put people around you that are going to support you. If your organization isn't giving you feedback, build your own support system. Take matters into your own hands. This can include a trusted peer, a mentor, and hopefully a sponsor, a coach that will help you process feedback as you're receiving it, or someone who understands your industry and the goals that you have for your career. You don't need a large group. What you need is a few honest voices who will tell you the truth, challenge your thinking, and help you to see opportunities that you might be missing. Because growth should never depend on one person at the office. So next, let's talk about documenting your wins. This is the step that changes everything. When feedback is limited, documentation becomes your evidence. Track completed projects, outcomes, impact, and any positive comments or recognition that you're receiving. I had a client who came to me feeling really unsure of how she was doing. She wasn't receiving any feedback from her manager, and the silence was making her second guess herself. One of the first things that I told her that she should start doing is documenting her wins. Every project that she completed, every problem that she solved, every result that she delivered, she started to write it down. At first, it felt small and unnecessary, but once she started seeing her accomplishments in black and white, I'm going to tell you, everything shifted for her. Her confidence increased. She spoke more clearly about her impact in meetings. And when performance review time came, she had concrete examples instead of vague feelings. That simple habit changed how she saw herself, and you know what else it did? It changed how others saw her as well. So next, I want you to use your documentation to advocate for yourself. Once you have this record of all the great things that you're doing, you can use it. You can bring it into your meetings. You can reference it in your performance discussions. You can use it when you're asking for stretch opportunities or preparing for promotion. Now, you're not asking for feedback from a place of uncertainty. What you're doing is you're speaking from evidence. Decide what you need next. And this is where it all comes together. Once you have clarity on your impact, once you've gathered your own data, and once you've built confidence in what you bring to the table, you're in a much stronger position to make intentional decisions about your future. At that point, ask yourself whether this environment is truly helping you grow and whether you have the support that you need to advance. If the answer is no, that information is still valuable because it helps you decide whether to advocate for more structure, seek new opportunities, or start preparing for your next level somewhere else. Because sometimes the lesson of no feedback is not about improving, it's about realizing that you've outgrown the environment. Lack of feedback doesn't mean lack of potential. It means you have to be more intentional, more strategic about how you get information, how you measure your growth, and who you allow to speak on your development. You can read the room. You can build your own clarity. And you can create the support that you need to grow. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, comment, share it with a friend that it might be helpful for them as well. Subscribe to my channel. I share weekly career tips just like the ones we were talking about today. And listen, if you need coaching or assistance processing or obtaining feedback, send me a message at coachingwithlainey.com. I would love to work with you. Thanks for tuning in. Give yourself grace, but never lower your standards. And guess what? I'll see you next time. Take care now.